Tell me how Saint Sharbel has affected your life.
Oh my gosh. He has given me unbelievable strength to get through this journey. My stroke was on May 22nd, 3 years ago. The brain surgeon, when I met him, after this was to a point where I could go to a visit and meet him, he said, his first words out of his mouth were that there is no medical reason on earth that I should be alive. I should be dead right now. And I figured from there I could only go up, right? And he said, and I'm the one that put you back together. And he said, but there is no medical reason you should be on this earth. And I said, well, there might not be a medical reason, but I know there's a spiritual reason. I did know that I had the worst headache in my life, and it just kept getting worse. The hemorrhagic stroke had 5 bleeds in my head, and so pretty much took up my whole head. And so they had to do a craniotomy, is that what that is? When they took off my skull, and they left it off for 2 months, and they would put it back on after the swelling and the bleeding stopped. I had to wear a helmet because they said that the biggest thing was you don't want to get an infection because you would never be able to get the skull back on. We're going to create one from a 3D printer out of titanium steel. And that's what they did. So on this side of my head, I have a titanium piece as a skull.
How did Saint Sharbel come into this whole thing?
Well, my daughter-in-law's mother brought me this, and it is a relic and of his piece of his clothing on this holy card, and I took it with me from the minute this happened. I had it with me at the hospital, in ICU, in every operation. And my daughter saw me, who she had known nothing about Saint Sharbel. She knew that I carried this with me, and I was always praying to Saint Sharbel. And while I was in ICU, in a coma, I was paralyzed on this side of my leg and this whole side of my hand and everything. And she started to rub it on my legs and my arms. And the nurse came in to take my blood pressure, and the other nurse, they were switching shifts, and the other nurse said, oh, you don't need to worry about her. She's paralyzed on that side. And right then, my arm went up, and it was after my daughter had done this for a good while I was out. And I knew that the sequences just lined up, everything. There had to be a lot. I know it was God through this intercession of Saint Sharbel that helped me, because when I had these operations, it was 12 o'clock on a Saturday night. Where would you get 3 surgeons lined up that could always get there? All 3 were on their way there, and one dropped something, or one stopped at a red light. They wouldn't have all got there in time to do this. And it's timing, it's everything. And he just been there for me. And I mean, just the strength that I needed every day to get through this. I had to learn for 3 years how to talk, how to walk, how to reason, how to turn on everything that was unplugged by this stroke. And Saint Sharbel helped me every step of the way. And it just was unbelievable to me. And I am a firm believer, and I tell everybody, people I meet everywhere, but how wonderful he was to me. I'm not special, I'm just a person. But to him, I was special enough to help all this way to get me back to here. And it's just amazing to me. I don't know what else to say. I mean, my son would come over and he would take one arm, and my grandson would have the other arm. They would walk me because I couldn't walk without falling.
This yellow paper here?
Mm-hmm.
We had
on
to put
every
them all over
corner.
the house so she didn't walk into the wall.